Welcome back, students. So today we are going to learn the concept on LR parsing. So in the previous session of third unit, we have already discussed the concept on the basics of bottom-up parsing. And I said you that bottom-up parsing is sometimes refers to as shift-reduce parsing. But now formally we are using in this session, we will be discussing completely on LR parsing. So as I said you that bottom-up parsing is something shift-reduce parsing. So in order to make operational, in order to make shift-reduce parser as operational parser, we have to use LR parsing method. So what happens in parsing is that it will take a stack. As I said you that previously in the previous session that shift-reduce parser uses stack. So here whenever an operation performs, that has to be performed well in the top of the stack. And you have to use, the production you have to use reduce it. That means by using which operation, which action, reduce action. Because as you are going through bottom up parser, that means you are going in reverse order. That means you are going from the symbol, from the, what you say, from terminals to the start symbol. So that is why the choice of action has to be made in each and every step in order to reach to the start state. That is our intention. But today we are going to see on LR parsing procedure. What is LR parsing? So LR parsing is just one type of parsing method by which you can perform shift-reduce parsing. So that's why it is called to be as a general and very efficient method of shift-reduce parsing. But is it LR parsing a single method? No, not at all, because LR parsing techniques contains a group of multiple techniques. So we will be learning each techniques, okay, in one session, and we will be seeing that how this LR parsing works here. So basically why the term has been given as LR, okay, the thing what we need to understand here is why LR, and if in brackets it represents K. So what does it means that? So that technique was introduced by Knuth in the year 1975. Now we need to understand why it is termed as LR of K or LR parsing. The thing is that the L represents that you are scanning the input from left to right? Whatever the input which you have given in order to satisfy with the given grammar with the help of a parser, that means here the first L indicates that you are scanning the input from left and it is moving towards right in direction. So that is why the first L indicates, and the R indicates because second is R. So that R indicates that it is rightmost derivation. Okay, because previously in top-down parsing we have seen LL parsing. That means it was leftmost derivation, but this bottom-up parser uses rightmost derivation, and that is the most important thing is that this rightmost direction it uses in reverse direction. Why it is uses reverse in direction? Because it is going from bottom to up. From the terminal, okay, from the terminal it is going to what? It is going to the start symbol. So that's why it is going in reverse direction. As it is going in reverse direction, that is why this rightmost derivation needs to perform in reverse direction. So this R indicates that it is going rightmost derivation. Now you know LL we have seen already K. K is the number of symbols it used to check in order to decide, in order to use parsing technique. So here previously in the top down parsing we have seen LL1. So what that one indicates that it is look ahead symbol is it used to see one symbol ahead. So it depends on K. So the K can be either 0, the K can be either 1. It depends on the type of parsing technique which you are using in LR parsing method. So that is it means that. Now moving to the LR parsing again in detail. So why we are preferring LR parsing? The most important thing is that it is the most general deterministic parsing. That means it is the most common method of using parsing process. So that is why LR parsing is, will be used more. And what happens is that it uses all the language constructs, okay, and it can be implemented very efficiently. Why it can be implemented very efficiently? Because it contains different types of techniques and you can use any of the techniques based on the type of grammar whatever you are choosing in order to verify for that. So that is why it is very inefficient in nature. And the class of LR grammar is a superset of LL grammar. So as you know, LL grammar is a subset and LR is a superset. So what we have to prefer we have to prefer superset only. That's why LR is a superset of LL grammar. So that is why LR grammar will be used in compared to LL grammar. And it can also detect syntax errors. Okay, if there are errors in any if any errors are encountered, and also it can be generated by generating tool, like we have seen Lex over there. Here we are using another parsing generator tool such as Yak is there. Okay, so that is how it uses for that. Now as I said you that LR parsing is just not a single method, rather it is a group of techniques that has to be considered. So basically there are 4 kinds of techniques which are being performed in LR parsing. That is, the first one is LR of 0, which is very simple technique, okay, and which is very easy to implement. But, and it is not that much efficient. The efficiency will get increases as the different types you are increasing. That means that this is the least efficient one, LR of 0, and this is the most efficient one is LALR, that is look ahead LR. So that is why you can refer that LALR is the most preferable technique used by parser generator, because it is most efficient one in terms of efficiency. The LALR has more efficiency over all other techniques. Now what is this uses LR of 0 and SLR? So LR of 0 is simple, that it doesn't contain any look ahead token. That is why it is represented as LR of 0. But whereas if you go with simple LR, that is SLR, it uses one token of look ahead. Okay, that means it uses only it uses single token for the for deciding how the parser has to be performed. Similarly, this is LR represents for canonical LR, then this uses with one token of look ahead, and the last one is look ahead LR, again it uses with one token of look ahead. But if you come with the similarity, the first 2 methods are similar. What is that? LR of 0 and SLR of 1. Why? Because I'll show you that it uses canonical data sets, canonical items of LR of 0 only. Okay, it uses canonical. I'll let you know what is this canonical, because in the steps we'll show you what is this canonical items of LR of 0 items. Okay, canonical terms of LR of 0 items. But if you go with LR of 1 and LALR of 1, it uses canonical set of LR of 1. What it uses? LR of 1. Okay, so that I'll let you know how this LR of 0 will perform, because in every session we will be discussing one technique here. Okay, so today in this session we'll be discussing LR of 0. Now what is LR parser, how the structure of LR parser will be, then this structure is common for all the techniques. So you know, parser is something you will get a token from scanner. Scanner will give you a set of tokens, so the tokens will receive through scanner, and this is the part of LR parser which is termed as LR parser driver. So this parser will be used by all the techniques. That means we have seen 4 techniques are there in LR parsing techniques. So all of this 4 techniques will use the same kind of LR parser driver. Okay, so it is actually a program that how the things has to be performed, and below that there is a parsing table. Okay, and this parsing table contains 2 parts. The one is action and the another is go to. And remember, this parsing tables is different in different types of techniques. Okay, and this actions is something like, as I said you in shift reduce parser, what are the actions? It uses shift, it uses reduce, it uses accept, right? We have taken 3 actions we have already learned in the previous session, so that action has to be taken. And if there are no certain action has to be taken, simply there is need to go to the next state, then you are using go to. Anyhow, you will be learning this as well about how this parsing table will perform. So along with that there is a parsing stack, because you know it uses a stack, and this is my top of a symbol, top of the stack, and this top of the stack will be useful in order to perform operations with the given mean the given input string, whatever the input string is there. So that input strings will be taken into consideration with the help of the top of the stack. So this is my parsing stack. So that is why what happens is, that's why I said you all different types of analysis techniques produces different tables. So this table will not be the same table for all the techniques. There will be a variations in that, and we will be going to learn that how these variations will be there in all the other kinds of 4 techniques. Okay, so this is regarding what the architecture of LR parsing. The next thing is that we need to before going to LR of 0 parsing, we need to learn first LR of 0 items. What is this LR of 0 items? So LR of the 0 items is that, for example, this is my grammar. What is this grammar? S dash produces S produces S or epsilon, E represent for epsilon. So this is my grammar. Now in order to, how many productions are there? There are 3 productions. This is first production, this is second, and this is third. Epsilon is also a third production. So there are 3 production choices. But what LR of 0 items will be there is that LR of 0 items is simply you have to take a dot symbol. Okay, you have to take dot symbol at the right hand side. So if S dash of S is my production. So now dot symbol has to be taken at the right hand side initially for the first position. What is this dot symbol is there? Why? What this dot indicates that this will be taken always. First thing is that it has to be taken at the right hand side. So I'm taking at the right hand side, and this dot symbol indicates that how much of the input has been scanned. From this one, none of the input has been scanned here because the dot is there at the initial stage. But for example, if I write as S dash of S dot, it means that S has already been scanned, and now there is nothing terminal, neither non-terminal, so it has been completed here. But if you go with the third line, initially in this one, S of dot in bracket S is there, then S is there. But for the next line again, so here in this line, in the third item, what is there is that neither opening bracket nor closing bracket nor S, it has been scanned here. So now you have to scan. So here you are moving the dot of you moving the dot symbol to the next position, so that what happens by this, if you go with this line, what happens, this has been scanned, opening bracket has been scanned. And if you go with this item, what happened, opening bracket and S has been scanned. So S has been scanned, means what is there in S? Again, S contains what? S contains the same thing. So you can take the same thing here again. So like that, you have to scan each and everything, and again closing bracket. Then again if you go into the next line, then dot is there. So 3 symbols has been scanned in this line, and finally here all of bin has been scanned here. And here epsilon is there. Epsilon means it's a null value. So simply there is no symbol is there at the right hand side. That's why you have to take S produces dot. Nothing is there here. That's why you are just writing as dot here. So in this way, what you can observe here is that there are 3 productions choices. But how many items are there? 8 items are there. So all of these are called as LR of 0 items. Okay. If you refer this point, you will come to know that LR of 0 items is an item simply you are to take dot at some position. At some position means initially you have to take at the first position on the right hand side of the production, which we have taken, and this item will be useful. What is the purpose of LR of 0 items? The purpose of LR of 0 item is that it will verify, that it will ensure that all the symbols at the right hand side of the production have been scanned. It will ensure that all the items, all the input which is there at the right hand side has been scanned. And how it will indicate? It will indicate with the help of dot symbol here. So this is how the LR of 0 items will be taken. And now this LR of 0 items will be used in LR0 of parsing, which is the next topic. Okay, so this is what the LR of 0 parsing, which today's in session will be completely dealing on this. So what is that? Previously in the second unit we have seen that we have given a grammar and we need to verify whether the given grammar is LL1 or not. Similarly here also we need to, for example, if they have given any grammar, and we need to verify whether the given grammar is LR of 0 or not. There is some condition, I'll let you know what are the conditions in that. So based on that condition, you have to judge that whether LR of 0 is a grammar or it is not an LR of 0 grammar. And if it is LR of 0 grammar, then you can draw the parse tree. So there are 5 steps broadly in this. The first thing is that you need to augment the given grammar. Augment means, for example, like if you go into this step, first step, what is the first step here? This is my simple grammar, this is not augmented grammar. Augmented grammar means the start symbol is what now? Here the start symbol is E. So I have to take another symbol as an start symbol by replacing with the existing start symbol. So here I am replacing the existing symbol E with another symbol called E dash. So this E dash, now because of this production here, this grammar has been converted into augmented grammar. So the very first most step which we have to take while they have given a grammar is we have to augment the given grammar. This is my first step. And after converting the given normal grammar into augmented grammar, the second thing is that you have to draw canonical collection of LR of 0 items. That I will let you know. What is this? This is something deterministic finite automata. Okay, how we have to see based on this second 2A has to be done with the help of LR of 0 items, which I have already said you that how to find out LR of 0 item for the given grammar. So using that LR of 0 items, I have to perform second step A bit. Then after that, whatever the productions which are being taken in the grammar, you have to number those production by terming the number as 1, 2, 3, so on like that, based on the number of productions which are available, excluding augmented production. I mean excluding the production which has been taken in the augmented grammar. So we have to exclude that, and after removing all of this, the remaining part has to be numbered with a number 1, 2, 3. That will be useful for creating parsing table. So the third step is, this is the very important part, that you have to create LR of 0 parsing table. And by this parsing table only we can come to know whether the given grammar is LR of 0 or it is not LR of 0. Okay. So if they will say you in examination just to check whether the given grammar is LR of 0 or not, so you have to just follow up to step 3. But if they will say you that verify it, and if so, if it is LR of 0, then you need to draw the parse trees and then you have to go till step 5. So by this step 3, you will come to know whether the given grammar is LR of 0 or it is not an LR of 0 grammar. If it is LR of 0 grammar, then you have to perform the step 4, which is stack implementation. So stack implementation is something which we have already discussed in the previous session, that there are some actions has to be taken, input symbol. Okay, so like that you have to take here. So in this way, like this is how we have did, right? So in this way you have to perform the stack implementation. So here parsing stack is there, the input string whatever it is there, an action has to perform. Okay, so that will be the next step after the third step. This is stack. Then after that given set of production, you have to draw the parse tree. What you have to do is the last is parse tree. Now the first step is this one, as I already said you. So this is my normal grammar, and here what I am doing here is that I am augmenting the grammar by taking E dash of E. So this is my augmented grammar. The next thing is that you have to draw canonical collection of LR of 0 items. So for this what you have to do is that, so what are the productions which we have taken here? If you go with this production, E dash of E is there, then again E of, what is that? Okay, so here you are getting this one. One more thing what I want to say is that I'll be taking another grammar because this grammar example like of T plus E and ID is an example for, it's not this example will actually is for it is not an LR of 0. So first I will take the other grammar which is of LR of 0 grammar. So for that some production is there, so I'll update here the production. So what is that production is that here I am just taking that one productions. What is that? E dash of E is there, okay, and here E of BB and B of small c capital B, then small d. So this is actually which I'm production, I'm taking this production, I'm not taking this one because you know this is an example for not an LR of. So I'll be giving a link for this in the description. You can verify this. This example is for not having an LR of 0. So for that you can verify this, okay. And this is augmented grammar. So a normal grammar it will be how it will be E of BB, okay, and this B of C small c capital B by small d. So this is actually grammar. Now in this example what I should take now, the same thing, E dash of EB, then E of capital B, and again what is that third line is what, B small c capital B, then D. Now what you have to do is LR of 0 items means what I have to do, I have to take dot here. So I am taking dot here, I am taking dot here, and I am taking dot here because this is also another production. So I am taking dot here. Now this is the first part, okay. So after this first part, so this is completed initially. So I just want to round up this. Now I have to visit. So this is something E in the first production. If you observe in the first production, E has not yet been visited. So I have to visit the E. So I have to use in this way. So by moving towards E, what happens? It will get converts into E dash of E dot. Okay. Now after dot, is there any terminal or non-terminal? No. So that's why there is no need to write another production. So it is completed. So when it is completed, you need to round up like this. Okay. Then similarly, what is the next part? B is there here. Okay. In the next production, if you observe, after dot B is there. So I have to move towards B. So when I'm moving towards B, what happens? E of B dot B. And after dot, what is still which I have to read? B. So for B, what is there in B? So in B is the same grammar I have to write. It's the same production I have to write here. What is that? B of dot CB, and I'm writing this another line. Two productions are there. So B dot D. So this is my, nothing is there after that, right? So here it is completed. After B, if you go with the third line, when I'm moving dot here by one position, so C has to be considered small c. It's not capital C, so it's small c. So here I'm writing small c. It's not capital C, right? So in this one, what I have to write? B of small c dot capital B. And again, what is the part of B? The same thing I have to include. B means I have to read B value. So what is there in B again? Same thing is there. So same thing I have to write here, B of dot CB. Okay. And again, what else is there? B of dot D is there. So here I am reading this part. So small c gets completed here. Right. Again, what is left? Next last production, D is there. So I have to, when I'm moving to a dot by one position, D has to read. So I'm going here, D I'm writing here. So D, small d, that too. So what I have to do now? B D dot. After dot, is there any terminal? No. Is there any non-terminal? No. So no need of writing further new production. So here it is get completed. Okay, up to now is it okay? Right. So now what I have to do is I have to see again. See, it is not yet completed. This is completed, so we have to leave it. The first part we have to leave this part. But here when I am going toward this one, I have to read again. When I am moving this dot here, so again I am taking B here. This is very important part. So E of B dot. Now is there any something else is there after dot terminal not been? No. So here it is completed. Right? Now what I have to do is that in the second line, if I'll take B of C dot B, B of C dot B, then I have to read the value of B. So instead of writing separately, if I use this one, is it okay? So that means if I'm moving towards by one position by C, small c, this is small c. So same three productions will come. How? Because if I'm moving dot, so after dot, after C, again dot is, so it's C dot B. So what is the value of C? So dot CB, again B, here what is there? Dot D. So in that way I'm reading. The next third production, if I go B of D dot, B of D dot means same production is there again here. So what I'll do is that instead of writing separately, I'll use this only. What I'm using this one only. What is that? I'm using D here. So, because if I use third production D dot, same thing will it come after D dot, nothing is there, so no need of further new productions. Okay, and what is left over now? If you go with this production B of C dot B, if I'm moving dot again, CB dot, CB dot, so CB dot, so if I'm moving B again, so I have to take one line here. What is that I'm moving? Capital B. B of small c capital B dot. Okay, as dot is there, after dot is there any terminal? No, there is no terminal, so no need of going for new production. So here it is completed. Okay, now if you go with the second production, B of dot CB is there. So if I take C dot B, so B I have to read. So when I'm reading B again, what will happen? Because if I'm moving C, same thing will happen, right? C dot B, same content will happen. So again it repeats to self only. So I'm using C, small c. Because if I'm moving small c dot, if I'm taking, so C dot B, again what is the value of B? Dot CB, then B of dot D. And further, if the last time, if I take in last production as D dot, the same thing it will come, right? So here, what is that? Small d. So this is how the canonical collection of LR of 0 items has been taken. Understand this, very important here. So that is why now what we have to do is we have to name this items, LR of 0 items. So this is my first LR of 0 item. So I0, and you have to go level by level. So this is first level, and in the second level, this one I1, this is I2, this is I3, this is I4, okay, and this is third level I5, and this is I6. And one more thing I want to say is that in actions it uses either shift or reduce, right? So whenever, remember, you have to pick the such productions that if you take this production I5, here after dot nothing is there, so you can use this production for performing reduce operation. Even you can I6 also you can use for performing reduce operations. Just understand why, because after dot there is no terminal as well as there is no non-terminal. Here also in this, if B of D dot means nothing is there, so it will be used for reduce purpose. Okay, so in this way we have taken canonical collection of LR of 0 items. Okay, so this is regarding this one. Now again what I have to do is that here I have to change, because previously for previous grammar it has been taken, so here I'm just updating this one. What is that I have to take? What are the productions here? E dash of E, E of BB, okay, and what is that? P of C, small c capital B, and last is B of small d. So these are the 4 productions, right? So you have to exclude this production because this is temporary. You have defined this. Okay, E dash you have defined. Originally it was not there. So you have to number this as, you can number as 1. You can number this as 2. You can number this as 3. You have numbered this production 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now this is my 2B step. Now for creating the LR0 parsing table, see, there are 3 actions you have to perform. The first thing is that you can perform either shift operation, you can either perform to go to move, either you can perform reduce node. So remember how it will be, I'll let you know. So you got the canonical form, right? So you got this canonical form. So now from I0 state, in order to go for E, which state you are moving? E. I0 to I1, because you are moving, you are going towards E. So instead of writing 1 here, you have to write here as 1 here. Instead of writing I1, you have to write as 1 here. So I'm writing 1 here, because I0 to I1, with the help of whom you are going? E, right? And next thing is that from I0 to I2, how you are going? With the help of B. I0 to I2, this is I0, this is I2. How you are going? With the help of B. So I'm writing, instead of I2, I'm writing as 2 here. Okay, now again, yes, after that, from I0 you have, what are, from where to where it is going? It is going to I1, it is going to I2, it is also going to I3, it is also going to I4, right? So what we have to do is that for I1 and I2, it is using what? It is using what? It is using terminals. Okay, it is using non-terminals. It is using non-terminals, and here it is using what? Terminals. So C, D is there. So that is why I said you, if the state is going to some other state on terminal, okay, on terminal, in the sense, this is your terminal. C is a terminal, D is terminal, C is terminal, D is terminal, and non-terminals are E and B. So if up to now you have taken second step, what is the second step? If a state is going to some other state on a variable, so here E and B are the variable, E and B are the variable. So here then it is corresponding to go to move. Go to move already you have taken, right? Now for terminals, what are the terminals? It is going from I0 to I3, it is going with the help of which terminal? C. From I0 to I4, it is going with the help of terminal D. That you have to remember. Now the same thing we are implementing. So I0 to I3, with the help of which terminal you are using? With the help of third, with the help of C terminal, you are going to third state. So instead of writing third state, as you know, you have to perform shift. So I'm just writing as S3. What is that? I'm writing as S3, and it is going to the fourth state from I0 to I4 with the help of D. So instead of writing I4, I am writing here as S4. Okay, now this is completed, I0 completed. Okay, because in I0 it is going out from towards 4 positions, C, D, E, B. So E, B, C, D completed. Now I1. I1 it is not going anywhere. So we need to leave I1. Next go to I2. In I2 where it is going? It is going to I5. It is going to I3. It is going to I4. For when it is going to I5, it is going with the help of B. With the help of B. So when it is going with the help of B in I3, so which state you are going? 5. So you have to write 5 from I2. And it is going to third state with the help of terminal C. So I am writing S3. And it is going to fourth state with the help of terminal D. So I am writing S4 here. Okay. So in this way, it is performing. Now what is the next state? Next state is I3. Next state is I3. If you go with I3, from I3 where it is going? From I3 it is going to I6, because here I3 to I6. Okay. I3 to I6 it is going. Then I3 to self it is going with the help of C. And where it is going further, it is going to I4 with the help of D. So here finally in I3 what you have to do? I3 with the help same state with the help of C, it is going to same state S3, but it is going again to fourth state with the help of terminal D. Now here it is going to the sixth state with the help of B. So here I am writing 6 here. Now next I4, I5, I6, what we have to do is, to go with I4, is it going somewhere else? It's not going anywhere. In I4 it is not, only it is receiving from all the sides, but I4 it is not using. So one thing I said you that I4, I5 and I6, as you know, after dot there is no terminal, there is no non-terminal, so it is used as for performing reduce operation. So it is used for performing reduce operation. So B of D dot, so it is third production. Which production it is? Third production. So that is why what you have to write, as it is third production, so in I4 it is used for reduce. So you have to write what? R represents for reduce. So R3 you have to write in all the actions. R3, R3, R3. You shouldn't write in go to, just you need to write in actions. R3, R3. Why? Because the production number is third number. Okay. Similarly in I5 also, if you go with I5, what is that? In I5 it is not going to anywhere. It is just receiving from I2. So this I5 it uses for reduce purpose. And this E of BB is for which production? If you go with this, production number 1. Okay, production number 1. So here I will write as R1, because production number 1 is there. So R1 and R1. So this is R1 only, right? And in I6 again, what is there? Again it is used for reduce purpose, and it is not going, it is just receiving. So B of CB means production number 2. So here you have to write as R2. And finally you have missed one thing, I1. In I1 is also like, after dot nothing is there, but this is augmented production. In augmented grammar you have taken this production. This is not the actual production. So that is why we are not using for reduce purpose. But whenever the string reaches to this production, it performs an operation called as accept. What is it performs? Because finally bottom up parser, right? So you have to reach to the which state? E dash, start symbol. So accept state. So this accept state you have to write in I1 in $. Here you are writing accept. Okay. So in this way, this is your LR of 0 parsing table. By this table only you can come to know that this is LR of 0 grammar. How? The same thing I have reflected here, LR of 0 grammar. How can you say that it is LR of 0 grammar? Because in every boxes, what are the boxes are there? Here only shift is there or else reduce operation is there. If for example, if you have two shift operation in the single box, or if you have shift reduce operation such as like this what is that, S4 is there and reduce something R2 is there. If such kind of conflict will come in the box, then this grammar will not be an LR of 0 grammar. Okay, but because of this thing, you can say by the parsing table only one can say that this grammar is a LR of 0 grammar. So as you know, it is LR of 0 grammar, so you can perform stack implementation as well as you can draw the parse tree. So that's why this is the actual one. So here you may find this. So here we got this, and you can find in each and every box only either S is there or R is there. I mean shift is there or reduce is there. If you have shift reduce, so that's why there are two conflicts actually. This is shift reduce or shift conflicts is there. If any one of the conflict will come, then the given grammar is not an LR of 0 grammar. So this is regarding LR of 0 parsing table. So by this what we came to know? We came to know that the given grammar is LR of 0 grammar. In examination, if they'll ask you that just to write to check whether the given grammar is LR of 0 grammar or not, then you have to execute till step 3 only. You shouldn't go to the next step. But if they'll say you that you have to draw the parse tree for the given grammar by taking some input string, then you have to go for the next step also as well. So this is your step 3. The next thing is your stack implementation. So for example, this is my input string. What is this? CCDD. Okay. So this is my input string CCDD. Okay, and this input string I have to satisfy whether this will satisfy or not. So how you have to take? This is my stack. So initially for the first time, what I have to use? I have to use $, and you have to start with the start I0. So you have to take 0. So this 0 or 1 it indicate the which state you are going, I of 0 or I of 1 or I of 2. So initially you have to start with the first state, that is I0. So I'm writing as $0. And here what is the input string? What is the input? CCDD, here $. Now what I have to check is that I have to compare in the first state where C will be performed. So you have to go again in this table. So if you go with this table, I0 to C, I0 to C, here S3 is there, right? So that means what I have to perform? I have to perform shift C. In which state I have to perform shift operation, because in I of 0, for the state I of 0, for the given value C, what action I have to perform? I have to perform shift action. S means indicate my shift, and where we have to shift, in which state? Third state. And we have to shift in which state? Third state. So you have to write like this. What is that? You have to perform shift C, because you are shifting C in the stack, in this stack, in stack. And what else you have to do? And you have to go into which state now? Go to state 3. State 3 means I3. So what you have to do is that you have to write, the result of this has to be implemented in this stack, $0. See, you are shifting towards stack, and which state you are going? Third state. So you have to write this number C3, and here just it is CDD $. I already said you that if I am implementing stack implementation, initially the stack will be empty, but finally what happened? The stack will reach to the start symbol. Okay, and this input string will be get empty, and it shows that the action accept has to be performed. The next thing is that again in the third state, now it is not in the 0th state, because top of the stack is what? Third state. So the stack will refer to the third state for the value C. So again if you go with this, so in third state, this is I3, where C is there. In C, which action we have to perform? We have to perform shift action, and again you are moving to which state? Same state, third state, because S3 is there. So that is why you need to write here. What do you have to write? Shift C, because you are shifting again C in the stack. Shift C, and you have to and go to in which state? Third state, in state 3, because same 3 is there, right? Why 3? S3 is there. S3 is there. So that is why you have to take in this way. So now what I'm doing is that I'm writing here as stack $0 C3, and again this C has been shifted into this stack, and by which state again this C will be there? The top of stack will be in the third state. So again $0 C3 C3. Again what happens? This C will be shifted. So what is remain in the input? It is just remained as DD dollar. Now again you have to go into the third state and you have to check with the symbol D what action you are performing. So in the third state, in D, which action you are performing? You are performing shift operation, and you are shifting to which state? Fourth state. S4 is there. So here again I am writing is that shift D, you are shifting D where? Into the stack, and you are going to which state now? And go to, in which state? In state 4. So that is why, how should I write now? $0 C3 and again D is there, and it has been shifted to fourth state, so I am writing as D4 here. Now what is remained? D dollar. Now if you go with the fourth state, and if you check with the symbol D, what is there in the fourth state? If you go in the fourth state, if you check with the symbol D, you will find that you are using reduce operation for the R3. What is R3 now? What is R3? 3 means this one. So this production will be used to reduce, that means D will be replaced with B, capital B. Okay, D will be replaced with capital B. So what you have to do is that $0 C3, this D will be replaced with whom? Capital B. Now which state we have to take? How? Because at last you are taking the number, state number. So here if you refer this B, this B is present in which state? Sixth state. Okay, this B is present in which state? Sixth state. So I am writing here as 6 here, B6. Again what is there? So I am writing here, I have to reduce this, so I have to write that action, because this action I have to perform in this one. So I am writing reduce, what I have to reduce? Reduce R3, third production. What is that production? B extends to D. That means this D will be replaced with capital B. So it has been replaced and the state number has been changed. Again what I have to verify is that in the sixth state I have to verify the symbol D. So in the sixth state, in D, again reduce is there, but which reduce? R2. R2 means which production you have to take? What is the second production? This production, B of CB. This is the second production. So here I am taking this. What I am taking is that reduce, I am performing reduce operation. So this reduce R2 and B of, which I have to take now? Second means small c capital B. So this small c capital D will be replaced with capital B. So here we am going to change here in the next step. What is that? $0 C3. So CB will be replaced with capital B. Okay, this capital B, and again you know B will be present in which state? Sixth state. Okay, so C3 B6, and finally what is there here? D dollar. Okay, so what will be there in this? D dollar. So now again in the sixth state, same thing you have to implement. So when I'm using sixth state, same operation will be performed here. What is that? Reduce R2, because R2 is there in that, same thing we are performing again, small c capital B. So again it will be replaced with capital B. So dollar 0, and here you are using B now. Okay, so here when I'm using B, so this B, now we have to take this B for 2. Why? Because we have taken this 6 here, so you have to take again as 2, because nothing is remained here. So I'm just taking as 2 here. So this 2 is there, and again what else is there? D dollar. So now I need to verify for the second state, and I have to check where the D is there. So again second state D. D means again what I have to perform? I have to perform shift operation. Shift, that means fourth state. So I have to perform this one. So here, so I'm using what? The next thing is I have to shift D, because I have to shift D in the stack. Shift D in the stack. And when I'm shifting this, so which state it is? Fourth state. So you have to go into the fourth state and go to state 4. So what I have to do finally is that $0B2 D, I have to write here as 4. Now nothing is there here because we have shifted D. Now again for fourth state, dollar you have to verify. Fourth state dollar. What is that? Reduce operation is R3. What is there in R3? R3 means this one. Okay, so simply I'm just replacing here. What I'm using is that I'm using reduce operation. So reduce, what I'm reducing? P of D. So simply $0B2, and here B is there, and here I have to take fifth state because I'm going with this one, so I have to take fifth state. So I'm using here fifth state. Now again dollar is there. So now again in fifth state, when I'm verifying fifth state, okay, dollar, what is there in fifth state? Dollar R1 is there. So R1 means which one? This one we have to use, E of BB. So here reduce E of BB. So finally what I am writing here is that I am writing $O of EE. Sorry, this is just E only, right? E of BB. So E will be there, and this E will be there where it is in the first state, because I am using this I0. Okay, the first state. So here I am writing as E1. Now I am taking dollar again. Now for the first state dollar, for the first state dollar, what is that? Accept. So here I am writing accept. Now what is this? Because of this, the string is accepted by the given grammar in LR of 0 parsing. Okay, because by E you can get E dash as well. So because as soon as you are getting accept, so it has been completed. So in this way you have to take stack implementation. Now finally what you have to do is you have to take parse tree. For parse tree you have to start from bottom up. As you know, it is bottom up parsing. So write most derivation in reverse direction. Reverse direction means you have to start from the last one. So what is the last one here? What is the symbol here? E is there. So I'm taking here as E. Okay, after this E, second step, second step is that this E will give you BB. Okay, so here last second step means it will give you as BB, and this B, rightmost B will be given to D. So here what you have to do is that you have to go with this B, D, and after that again what happens is that after this B, okay, after this B, this is my B, right? So this B will give you small c capital B, which B, this B. So here this small c capital B, okay, and this small c capital B, again this B, this is terminal, so this B again it will give you CB. If you refer this P and this B, so here B CB, so B CB means in this way, C small c, this is small c, and this is capital B. And after this B, this B will be giving to small d. Okay, so this B will be giving to small d. Now you got, have you got C C D D, C C D and D? Okay, so you got C C D D. So in this way you are getting parse tree. Okay, so this is how the things has to perform. Okay, so in this way we have completed LR of 0 parsecs, and we have seen whether the given grammar is LR of 0 or not. So I'll give you one more example. I'll be attaching a link of that in the description. You can verify that example is that the other example which was there previously in this. So that example is of example which is not an LR of 0. In that a conflict will come, so you will get to know, you'll get a clarity that how can you define, how can you determine whether the given grammar is LR of 0 or not. So with this I completed today's session. Thank you.